the other day, there was a database who walked into a pub.
I'm trying not to laugh now.
He wanted to join 2 tables. Table.
I get it.
Okay.
I get it. I might be the only one laughing of this joke. Like, we need to put stakes. Like, I saw online that people are doing like shots and stuff like that. When
that would be a crazy podcast.
If this, but we laugh at every joke, so it's kind of. But they're good. It's.
I think they're fantastic.
Premium jokes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I used to think that I was too indecisive.
Okay.
But now I'm not sure.
You are too indecisive. Well, today, Kasper, I'm bringing the topic web analytics to experience analytics.
Yes.
And I'm doing that because over the past many months and basically the last year or this year, at Acrease, we've been doing a lot of migrations from Adobe Analytics to Customer Journey Analytics, or CJA.
Yeah.
And I realized that, first of all, web analytics is not a term that we've been using.
No, not that much.
Not that much, right? What is that? 5-10 years ago that we started talking digital analytics instead of web analytics, right? When I joined Omniture in 2008, it was web analytics, right? Yeah. And so I guess there's both been a development in the industry, how we look at data. We have more data.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
And I guess with CJA, we're going to be having even more data, right? And the reason why I want to bring this up is because a lot of, well, for those who don't know, then Customer Journey Analytics, have the option of bringing in offline data, stitching it together with the online data, and suddenly start seeing journeys that you were unable to see before.
Yeah.
Right. And with that, there is also a requirement of maturity in the organization, or at least defining some use cases for why are we making this upgrade from, not from web analytics, digital analytics into, I'm going to call it experience analytics.
Yeah, because
right?
it's an extension, right?
It's
like it's a natural
involvement or development, right? But what we're seeing is that a lot of these migrations that we're doing start out as a one-to-one migration from the perspective of we're going to take what we have in Adobe Analytics and make it available in CJA.
Yeah.
But then you're not really getting the value that that you're buying into by having CJA.
No. But
right?
I think, like, for me, I also would like one step back. What is the reason that, like, I'm sitting here, I have my Adobe Analytics or Google. In this case, it's not Google Analytics at all. It's Adobe Analytics.
Yeah.
When we're talking about CJA, Customer Journey Analytics. So I'm comfortable here. Like, it's okay. Why should I make the move into the next era of my analytics journey?
Yeah. And I guess there's going to be 2 perspectives, right? There's one perspective is from the vendor, meaning Adobe. They obviously have an interest in upgrading you, right?
Yeah. But they must be for a reason, because there must be some features that we don't have in our current.
Absolutely. But oftentimes, an upgrade is very, what's the word? It's an easy upgrade budget-wise, because Adobe can help make that upgrade easy.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not driven by use case, but it's because it's part of a renewal, and it doesn't require a lot, and then we have access to all these features.
Yeah.
We might not have the use cases ready yet, but we're gonna go there, right?
So it's the next step. So it's kind of like
But in those cases, obviously, there's there might not be a list of use cases to be executed towards, but it's more like we need to migrate what we have in Adobe Analytics because we need to shut it down at some point and let CJA take over, right? So I thought I just wanted to touch upon a bit, what's the value with CGA?
Yeah.
Right. And kind of just inform some of the relevant use cases. And also talk about some of the challenges, right? Because I think we've covered this in some of the other episodes as well, that as soon as we want to onboard other data sources,
yes,
it's a new silo or new department that we need to enter, which may not be easy, right?
It's always a process, and like making changes in organizations and in large organizations is something that few are waking up Monday morning and think this is my direction. But we also know that the potential of making changes and understanding to not try to turn the entire ship, but win use cases is extremely valuable both to the company and to the individuals who launch these quests, right? So you mentioned the use cases that goes into. I'm very curious actually about the use case that you're seeing.
And we've actually I've been part of some Adobe events where we've been doing some hands-on labs in CJ, and I think typically there's a big eye-opener for when we onboard offline data and we also capture the online data and we stitch it together.
Yeah,
like it seems like it's the very we've been talking about omnichannel and things like that, but it's like the first time where companies can actually see a journey that goes from, I'm visiting the website, I'm calling the call center, I buy something in the store, and I end up on the website again.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like it's been impossible to build that journey before. If you had IT support and Power BI, you could build that. But it's just been made so much easier with CGA and AAP as long as you get the right data.
Yeah, but it's also a mind shift in terms of how we talk about it, because user journeys has primarily been a lot in marketing about attribution. Yeah. Where now it's a different level, right? It's
completely different level, right?
It's
Now we suddenly see the full experience. It's not just if we come back to what I started with, it's not just web analytics or digital analytics. It's like the full journey that a customer of ours is going to be taking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we can see exactly, which pages was visited, when he called the call center, what he purchased in the store, and what products he's looking at when he comes back to the website.
But it sounds like a massive data project. Like who needs to be involved in these setups?
And that's a great question. It doesn't have to be a major data project, but obviously, you need access to the right people in the organization who have this data, right? Yeah. But typically, you already have that data in a data warehouse somewhere. Yeah. Right. IT, has built a data warehouse, and so it's a matter of making an export from that data warehouse with the needed data, right? Yeah. So it doesn't have to be a big project or a big data project, but obviously, the more data points you want to be tying to it, the bigger the project it can potentially turn into.
Are the usual drivers in this marketing? Or does it come from multiple angles?
And that's funny because it's typically marketing where it starts because it's their web analytics tool that's being replaced or added upon, right? But suddenly there's a bunch more stakeholders that needs to be involved in it. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So it isn't just, I think it starts with marketing, but it typically isn't necessarily where it ends.
But like with CDPs and data lakes and stuff like that, it's heavily IT project as well, because it's like you need to unite the data in some way, right?
I guess in the beginning it is when you onboard the data to begin with, right?
I'm not saying it like it should be something to scare you off. I think I'm more asking for like these are the stakeholders that we need to have there. We need to have them involved in this process.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. And typically IT is a playing a big role in it. As I said before, if they have the data warehouse, then they need to be part of it. Yeah. Typically, they need to export the data, right?
Okay.
The biggest challenge I see is that it's about stitching the data. Obviously, if we need to be able to see the journey, they need to authenticate on the site at some point, and we need to be able to have a common ID across the channels. So I think that's probably the biggest challenge. But having said that, I've seen some really, really great use cases. But it just pondered upon me that it's like that, when we've been doing these hands-on labs, even though it's been Adobe clients who already had access to CGA, it's like when we onboarded dummy data and we could stitch it together.
Yeah.
That's where the light bulb kind of like was, whoa, is it that powerful?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So it was just, for me, I think it's just important that we start talking about use cases where we are more, what's the word? More bold in what we want to be achieving.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And I more brave in what we want to be setting up, right?
Yeah, and knowing the outcome of why we're starting this, because if the natural development is that we go into these kind of tools, then we need to know what we are looking to achieve and how others have done this. And it sounds, from what you're saying, that brands are already on this journey, that they're going there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure if it's still first movers or whatever, but what are some of the outcomes that they see? Is it informed decisions, or does it go further from that?
So I think first of all, there's insights that they haven't had before. It's been gut feelings.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Combining things from outside the usual silo.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. And then I think it's important to not think of it as a migration.
Yeah.
But as a transformation.
Yeah.
Right. And to your point in a previous episode, gold in, gold out, then typically, I don't want to say all, but a lot of customers haven't given the love and care to the Adobe Analytics implementation.
No.
So there's with the transformation, there's also an opportunity of making sure that we actually get gold in so we can get gold out.
Yeah.
Right. So I think the takeaway I want people to take from this episode is that don't think of moving from Adobe Analytics to Customer Journey Analytics as a migration.
No.
Think of it as a transformation for the business.
That you're going into.
Yeah.
If you were sitting in this role, would you make the step now? Like, would you?
I don't see any. I was about to say yes, but I think there's also a level of maturity in the organization that's important.
Yeah, in terms of
in terms of asking the right questions that I need to find the answers for in the data.
Yeah.
Right. Because if there's not a need for seeing that connected journey, or the maturity isn't there, being interested in seeing the journey, then it might not be the right move right now.
No.
Right. So, but I think that's only a sign of an underutilized tool if you're not thinking in that direction.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah, and it's very interesting in terms of the conversations that we had around this before as well, I think, with the tech, because we have the tech in place, and tech often takes front row in a lot of our strategic decisions.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to hear you say that if you were a decision maker in this case, you would also, like, the levers for success is that we have the maturity, that we have the data foundation, and now across marketing and customer success and the customer support and all the things which essentially are key points to this journey.
Yeah.
Before you make that decision, like, you should probably be aware that you're going this way. There are many hybrid trends and many things happening, but this is what I'm hearing from, and also, like, thinking back to our previous episodes, from all the topics that we talked about, this seems more like an evolution that it seems a hybrid trend that we can decide to jump on or off.
Yeah.
So it's something that we need to prepare ourselves for. Like, do we have the foundations to move into a cross collaboration? And if I'm sitting in marketing, this is no longer in a timeline my decision alone. It's also for the customer team and for the IT team and for the management team, which is maybe a unifier that we've been looking for throughout larger organizations, especially, that someone takes ownership and says, hey, the data is important if we know what we're going to use it for across teams.
Yeah. To my point, it's not just web analytics or digital analytics anymore, right? It's experience analytics, which involves all departments.
Yeah.
Right.
But it also can become a somewhat complex conversation, which all these topics essentially are.
Absolutely. I think it's about planning it, putting a roadmap together, so you don't take huge steps in the beginning, but you crawl, walk, run.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Do you see specific industries where that are like front runners in these?
Well, that's a great question. I don't think necessarily there's industries that are further ahead than others. We work a lot with finance, telco, and B2B.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like I see, an industry standing out. No.
Because like retail has also always been like very interested in these cross cross data points, but also had a hard time combining them.
Yeah.
So this could also be a definitely
there's some fantastic use cases with retail, right?
Yeah.
Combining data from online behavior to what you purchase in a store to what you're being presented or personalized with through an email, right?
Yeah.
So some really interesting use cases.
Exactly. I grew up in retail with web shops many years ago, where we started doing that, and where we actually this is where my interest in data sparked from, because we started using it, and it was a very low level.
Yeah.
But like across call center, across web shop, across delivery times, and we had like back then post was the most important.
Yeah.
You needed to deliver day to day. That was the key factor.
Yeah.
Today is way more complex, but I really enjoy following like how these things evolve. And throughout my career, I've been more than once surprised about banking and finance institutions, how well-oiled machines they are into this.
Yeah.
It's like impressive, and there are many other industries that are.
Sure.
But it's sometimes some of these industries that you get surprised are so far ahead, and I know that they have well-oiled machines, but they're actually front runners in many of these topics when it comes to these things.
Yeah. Absolutely. And with that, again, it's not a migration; it's a transformation.
Yes, but I have that clear feeling in my entire body. That is like
fantastic.
So you convinced me to jump on this belief in a way that's really interesting.
Well, and thank you, Kasper. If you're buying it, everybody else will be buying it too.
I'll be calling you right after we stop shooting.
Yeah. With that, thank you, Kasper.
Thank you, and we'll see you all soon again.
Take care.